The Panzerkampfwagen IV. Often overshadowed by the heavier Tiger and Panther, it was this machine, the workhorse of the Panzerwaffe, that truly formed the steel backbone of Germany's armoured divisions. From the invasion of Poland in 1939 to the final desperate defences of 1945, the Panzer IV was the only German tank to remain in continuous production throughout the entire conflict. Originally conceived as an infantry support tank, the Panzer IV was initially armed with a short-barreled 75mm gun designed to suppress bunkers and soft targets. However, the arrival of the Soviet T-34 on the Eastern Front forced a radical rethink. With a larger turret ring and greater development potential than its sibling, the Panzer III, the Panzer IV successfully transitioned into a formidable tank killer. The introduction of the SchÄ×rzen F2 and G models saw the fitting of the long-barreled, high-velocity KWK-40 gun. This upgrade allowed the Panzer IV to engage Allied and Soviet armour at significant ranges, effectively countering the threat of the T-34 and the American Sherman. Despite its aging chassis, these later variants remained lethal opponents until the very end. Beyond its role as a main battle tank, the Panzer IV's versatile chassis served as the foundation for a staggering array of specialized vehicles. From the casemate-styled SchÄ×rzen and Jagdpanzer IV tank destroyers to the heavy self-propelled artillery of the Hummel and Nashorn, the Panzer IV platform proved to be one of the most reliable and adaptable designs of the era. As the war progressed, the Panzer IV received additional armour in the form of SchÄ×rzen, side skirts designed to protect against Soviet anti-tank rifles and heat rounds. Though increasingly outclassed by the sheer weight of Allied production, the crews of the Panzer IV fought with a tenacity that earned the vehicle a legendary reputation in armoured warfare history. With over 8,500 units produced, the Panzer IV was the most numerous German tank of World War II. Its service did not end in 1945. Salvaged models continued to see action in the Middle East as late as 1967, a testament to a design that was robust, effective, and undeniably enduring. As the conflict entered its final chapters, the Panzer IV was increasingly found in defensive roles. In the hedgerows of Normandy, it proved to be a lethal ambush predator. While it lacked the heavy frontal plate of the Panther, its lower profile and reliable mechanical components meant it could be repositioned more easily through the tight, bocage-lined lanes of northern France. Tactically, the Panzer IV, AUSF H and J were often the preferred mount for experienced crews. They valued its predictable handling and the high-velocity punch of the 75mm L-48 gun, which remained effective against the vast majority of Allied armour until the very end. Even as the superior King Tigers were being fielded, it was the humble Panzer IV that held the line during the retreat from the Seine. Production in the final months of the war was a miracle of industrial perseverance. Despite the constant Allied air raids on the Nibelungenwerk and Womag factories, Panzer IVs continued to roll off the assembly lines. To save time and resources, the final AUSF J models saw the removal of the electric turret traverse, forcing crews to crank the heavy turret by hand, a grim reminder of the deteriorating strategic situation. The legacy of the Panzer IV extends far beyond the borders of Germany. Long after the guns fell silent in Europe, these tanks found a second life. In the 1950s and 60s, Syria operated a fleet of Panzer IVs, some of which had been salvaged from the battlefields of France and Czechoslovakia. These veterans of the Eastern Front once again saw combat in the Golan Heights during the Six-Day War, facing off against modern Centurion and Sherman tanks. When we examine the history of armoured warfare, the Panzer IV stands as a symbol of adaptability. It was a pre-war design that outlived its intended successors, evolving from a support vehicle into a frontline combatant that defined the German experience of tank combat. It was, in every sense of the word, the true workhorse of the Panzerwaffe.